When I found you in the wreckage of that ship, I considered leaving you. I was afraid you could bring trouble to us.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
We're just farmers. We're not a threat. They won't just kill us, will they?
You're delusional. You think those soldiers will show them mercy? Stop. We're gonna have to fight. I am a child of war. I find warriors to fight with us.
We might stand a chance.
We're searching for soldiers for a fight against the Mother World.
I could help you. For a small fee, obviously.
I'm here to make you an offer. To give you a chance at redemption.
We are beyond redemption.
What about revenge? This isn't just pursuit of revolution.
I have found her. The most wanted fugitive in the known universe.
It's a new age for the universe.
You blow it! You blow it! You blow it! You blow it!
Welcome to You Blew It. This is the show where we watch turd sandwiches in HD so you don't have to. Reliving our childhoods one Blu-ray disc at a time. I'm Roden, and of course, we have Camaro Kev sitting right across from me over here.
Hey, buddy.
Well,
First of 2024, by the way.
first of 2024. Welcome to 2024.
First SOD, first You Blew It in 2024.
Nice.
I mean, this is the, yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, we starting things off with a bang here. We're not actually watching anything on Blu-ray.
And nothing from our childhood.
And nothing from our childhoods. Although this movie has basically stolen a lot of things.
Yes, from pretty much
Star Wars.
Yeah, and any other movie you can think of.
Yeah.
Pretty
Lord
much.
of the Rings.
Lord of the Rings. Yep.
Okay. We've got Star Wars. We've got Lord of the Rings. We've got Harry Potter. We've got what else? Oh, Blade Runner.
Blade Runner.
You
could throw
anime.
Anime. You could even throw in dare I say, like a Braveheart in that some of the.
You've got a little Braveheart.
Yeah, like the dialogue, and then
maybe even a little Gladiator.
Sure. Yeah. Sure. And one of the guys from Gladiator in the movie.
Yes. Indeed.
Okay, we watched
Rebel Moon.
Rebel Moon. Now.
Part 1, A Child of Fire.
A Child of Fire. Which...
Not a whole lot of fire. There was a couple children.
No. Yeah,
not a whole lot of fire.
There's a couple of children's. Yeah. Not a ton of fire. I mean, I guess there was whenever shit exploded, but...
Yeah.
The explosions, there was some fire.
But the fire never gave birth.
No, and that's what... was confusing, and I think he was just like, it'd be cool, Zack Snyder, old Zack. He was probably like, it'd be cool if we gave it a title that sounds like a Game of Thrones book.
Yeah,
and they're like, oh yeah, Zack, we really like that.
What am I talking about? A Game of Thrones book made to be a Star Wars movie, right?
Yeah,
that's the story anyway that I've heard.
And let me stop for a second because that was wrong, because I implied that Zack is actually throwing ideas out to people and asking for their input.
No, he wrote this whole fucking thing.
Yeah, so he basically was like this, hey guys, I thought of something really cool. I want to name it to sound like a Game of Thrones book. What do you think? What do you think? And they all just said, that's great, Zack, because that's apparently what everyone says to this guy when they let him make this trash that he makes. And I don't even know where to begin with this one. First of all, fuck you for making me watch this thing. I had no plans on watching this thing.
This was a Christmas present for me.
Oh, I thought it was like, okay.
To watch your reaction.
Oh, yes, very much
of making you... Yeah, basically making you watch this fucking turd sandwich.
I told Mike at work, I said, Roden wants to watch that Zack Snyder Star Wars movie. And he was like, that doesn't even follow the rules of what You Blew It is about. I was like, yeah, we've broken the rules a couple of times before. One of the times was the Zack Snyder version of
That's right.
Super Friends.
Yeah. Justice League.
Justice League.
Yeah.
Super Friends. Super Friends.
I don't know what it is about his movies. I do not really enjoy them at all.
But you enjoy hating them?
But I enjoy hating it.
Yeah, or hate watching?
I enjoy hate watching it.
You
I don't know why. I don't know why that is in me.
and you enjoy it more than I do. I think, like, for whatever reason. I think.
Oh yeah. I think I enjoy it more than most people I know.
That's true.
And it is a thing though with me. I don't know where it comes from. My parents are not that way. I was not raised that way at all. But I do enjoy watching these movies over again. I will tell you, I watched during my break. I was off work for like a week and a half during the holidays and stuff. I watched Man of Steel.
Jesus.
I watched Justice League.
Jesus.
I watched Batman v Superman.
You just went back to see.
I don't know why I did, but I felt compelled to do it.
The bigger question for me is, did you watch them in 3D?
No.
You didn't.
No.
What is the point?
I watched them on my phone.
Oh my God, man. Did you watch
while laying in bed? And I would fall asleep during the movies, of course, because many hours of these things are so boring that they just put you right to fucking bed.
Did you watch the extended version of Batman v Superman?
Yes.
Because I've not seen the extended version, because that's not...
It is horrible.
I've heard people say it's better than the... And it's not by better by much, but it's like, yeah...
I don't know if I can say it's better.
Okay.
I don't know if I can say that. It's just so dumb. Like, Batman versus Superman is so fucking stupid. Well, do you remember we saw that in the theater?
Oh yes.
Me, you, Toon,
Anita,
DJ Tuna, Anita was there.
Yep, and Newman.
Yeah. And Newman. And I fell asleep.
And so did Newman.
And I woke up to a scene where Batman was doing CrossFit.
Yes, he was.
And I had fallen asleep on Toon's shoulder, and she just let me stay there.
Yeah.
And I woke up and I was like, and I looked over at her and I go, is he doing CrossFit right now? I think, a direct quote from DJ Tuna, you bet your ass he is. And I think I fell back asleep at that point.
The idea that to prepare to fight Superman, you're just
lifting giant tires.
Oh, you do some CrossFit.
You're flipping giant tires, and then you're doing the
ropes, the heavy rope
shit.
Yeah,
what he was doing with
shaking the ropes. I don't know.
Yeah. Anyway, Rebel Moon.
Yeah, and
fuck this movie.
Yeah, one. So Mike says that, and I said, yeah, we've broken the rules before, and I told him, I was like, I am really
dreading.
I am dreading this.
Yeah,
because I was like, I know it's going to be too long.
Yeah,
I know it's going to be really boring.
2 hours 15 minutes.
Which
this one clocks in it. Not bad.
Not bad.
Yeah.
Not bad. And it isn't that much of a slog. It's just really, really dumb and really, really cliche. Everything in it you have seen in another movie, and he doesn't even.
But he does it in, and the cliches in this movie too, like as in most Zack Snyder films, they're done in such a way that it's so preposterous and it's so overly serious and just and I think
trademark of that guy.
I think it's the seriousness that makes it dumb.
Yeah.
Right.
It adds to it for sure.
Like it times everything. It's like it's exponential.
Yes.
It adds an exponential layer of dumbness to everything that he does.
Now, having watched it now, even though I was dreading it, I'm happy I did. I actually had a good time watching it. I'm glad I watched it with you. Like I had a good time.
Watchable.
It's of course watchable. Of course. But I had a good time in the sense like we watched it together because you had seen it. You're like, dude,
I did watch
you
it
said,
before,
and
yeah.
you told me stream it, and then what we'll do is we'll do a show. And I'm glad I didn't just stream it on my own. I came here and you watched it again,
right?
Even though I looked up and I was like, did you not finish this before? And you're like, no, I put it on the other.
Well, because I thought you were going to watch it, so I put it back on again. I was like, I got to remember some of this shit because there's so much garbage in this movie that I just, I have to remember it. And now, I mean, I don't remember any of it. We just finished watching it. I don't remember.
Well, I will say this. I thought going into this that it would be. I don't know why I would think this, but I thought it would be like overly convoluted with some sort of like
it kind of is
kings, queens, the history, trying to make it a lived-in world and all this stuff. And there's going to be some politics and probably some sort of Senate hearings and all this stuff that I don't even give a fuck all about. But no, I forget it's Zack Snyder, and God bless, the guy sounds like a nice guy. From what I've heard, he sounds like a sweetheart. All of these people in this movie seem very nice. I mean, I don't know anything about these actors. I've seen them show up in like your Game of Throneses. Two of the guys played the same character in different seasons of Game of Thrones. I mean, this is how batshit crazy that stuff is. But I forgot I was watching a Zack Snyder movie until I got about halfway through. Towards the end, I was like, oh no, this is just a dumb movie. There is no lived-in world. He overly explains everything. Yeah. And it's not interesting. King, princess and king are slaughtered. Bad guys take over. This girl that was a part of the bad guy regime ends up on a nice, quaint planet, farmer planet. She gets kind of grows up there and learns the ways of like, oh, this is what it is to be a nice planet-loving person. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, the bad guys show up there, and she's like, oh, fuck, I know all sorts of shit about these bad people. Although I'm not going to tell you, farm people, that I do until it's too late. Then go, yep. Yeah. Oh, yeah. I knew they were going to take everything. Oh, because I used to be a part of them.
I used to be them. And I was like their top agent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
their top killer. The Scar Giver.
Scar Giver, yes. Yes. And
kind of like Skywalker.
But then the movie then just turns into them putting a ragtag team of rebels together to fight, to go back to this farm planet and fight the bad guys.
Well, and we're going to skip around a whole bunch. I don't think we should go beat for beat on the.
I just gave you the whole
movie.
plot.
Yeah.
What's the point?
You've done it already. Cut, print, show over. Mm-hmm. What I think we should talk about in this episode is just kind of go through and just kind of mention the stuff that either doesn't make sense or is just straight up silly.
Silly. Silly.
Like let's hit on this farm planet that they're trying to protect, right? So this is a group of people that live down there, a small group of people, maybe what, 7,500 maybe?
If we're lucky. Okay, let's just say 100. We'll just say 100
people
in a
living in this like little village. Right, it's very kind of North Ireland, type. Everybody speaks with kind of an Irish accent,
right? And it's also mixed with Hobbiton. Yes, it kind of looks like the Shire, like a dry version, like a dry version of the Shire.
He was obviously going for that New Zealand look because he makes these massive mountains in the background,
and minus the green though,
minus the green. Yeah. But then there's this massive like Jupiter type planet with Saturn rings that like is so close to this planet.
It's the entire horizon. Like
it's the entire horizon.
Like you in a tight
It's like
shot.
the moon scene in Joe versus a Volcano when he's floating in the ocean.
Never seen it.
You've never seen that?
I've never seen it.
Oh my God. We got to do that.
No, won't do it.
Why?
I don't know. It's one of those movies at this point. It's like ship sailed.
Oh, fuck.
Ship
it's
sailed.
so good.
Yeah.
No, it wouldn't be good for this show because it is a good movie.
All right. Well,
anyway.
Yeah. Right.
But,
yes,
but
people seem to enjoy it. Yeah. unlike the trash we watch.
These guys on this planet, they're just this whole village is based on doing work by hand.
Yes.
Right? They're like it brings us closer to the land. What?
And in Zack Snyder fashion, if you didn't get that, he has a scene where she digs up a rock
with her hands.
with her hands,
Because
and then
she's being pulled. She's pulling a fucking plow by some weird horse.
Yeah.
That's just all bone.
yeah, Little House on the Prairie type shit.
on its face.
And then if you didn't
Bone face.
she grabs 2 fists full of dirt and then
smells it.
and huffs them in appreciation for the bounty that they delivered her
In slow-mo.
in slow-mo.
By the way.
With a giant orange sky in the background, you're thinking, but then you pull out and you go, oh no, it's a giant
that's
planet.
Jupiter.
That's Jupiter. That's so close. And it doesn't look good. It looks bad.
See, you kept on saying this throughout the movie. There are scenes that I think look really, really bad in this, but
tons.
Some of it, I enjoyed the scenery in this movie. I kind of enjoyed it. I'm much more into this sci-fi like worlds than you are, I think.
Yeah,
Wouldn't you say?
yeah, of course, but like when it's done well, it's done like Blade Runner is awesome.
Yeah, Blade
both of the
Runner's
Blade
amazing.
Runner movies.
Yeah.
One of them's made in like 1980 or whatever the hell, 81, 82,
Sure.
whatever. And even the newest one, that imagery is cool looking. And
This is just a mismatch.
it is, and it's the problem too with this shit is like there's no subtlety in any of it. It's all
that's true.
over the top,
That's true.
ridiculous. It's always ripped off from comic books. He loves to slow down a scene and almost pause it, so you get this like panel image from a comic book, and it's and it's so try hard. It is so try hard. Everything with this guy is try hard.
Yeah,
and it just reeks of you're just trying too hard, bro. Like we get it. Slow-mo shots of seeds falling into the earth. That was a thing that Newman always got pissed off at. Slow-mos of the casings hitting the floor. I mean, Snyder loves this shit. And it's it's like you've given a camera to a 14, 15-year-old and this is the stuff they come up with.
And how old is Snyder?
He's like our age, I would think. He's got to be like, well, I'm almost 50. He's got to be mid 40s to early 50s would be my guess.
Man.
I think so.
Yeah, I mean, it's very strange. I mean, it's such a mismatch of just weird different tropes.
Yeah, tropes. I mean,
Right?
you've got the
the imagery too, because you go from like this Shire place, which we were just talking about, New Zealand type, setting, to like a Japanese cyberpunk village.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Right? Like Western. It's like a mix of Old West and then a Mos Eisley kind of spaceport.
Boy, that was brutal to watch.
Yeah. But wait. We're getting too far in the weeds away from the point that I wanted to make about
go for
this
it. Make
village.
your point. Yeah.
So they pride themselves on having basically no technology, right? They're like Amish.
Yeah, they are kind of Amish, yes.
They're an Amish village, but they have the fucking Star Trek doors on their houses.
You're sitting in like a little house on the prairie house, and
literally with a fire, a wood fire stove going, and then the door slides open. Yeah,
like I go, what is that door? Why is that door there?
Yeah,
that matches nothing else in this entire village.
In a fucking stone wall.
Yeah, in like a wood and mud,
wood and fucking mud
thatch
and stone
and shit and stone.
Yeah.
Okay.
How are they powering that?
Oh man!
Everywhere else in there were no real powered lights. It didn't look like, right?
I think there are.
Well,
I think they had lights.
they did have electricity.
But
so
it is.
But they were getting water from a well in a bucket,
yes,
and then feeding people with a big metal spoon.
What are we doing?
Water.
What are we doing?
What is happening?
Like we're okay with the lights.
Yeah, we're okay with the lights. We don't want to open our own doors.
Yeah. No.
That is where we draw the line.
We'll get a motor and electricity sent to that thing.
We'll get some sort of fucking hydraulic press.
Yeah.
And it's going to open the doors for us as soon as you fucking walk up to it.
Yeah.
It's got to have a motion sensor too, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. They don't do it. It opens up.
No, yeah.
Closes behind them.
Yeah, they don't even have to press a button.
So if you haven't seen the dumb trailer, you know what happens next. The bad guys show up hovering above. They all look up, and this is the classic kind of just cliche.
I thought this was kind of a cool scene when the dreadnought, like the massive ship, like comes through kind of the upper atmosphere. It looked really good.
That was pretty cool imagery. Can I give it to him?
Yeah,
looked.
You had a problem with the shape of the spaceships.
Yeah, it's our Star Blazers. It's Star Blazers.
I don't know what Star Blazers.
You don't remember the cartoon Star Blazers?
I don't think so.
It was like an anime cartoon. Probably.
Well, that's probably where it got it from.
87, 88. Oh, it's completely where they got it from.
Because it's very rounded. It's very rounded, like smooth spaceship.
Almost looks like a mix between a submarine and a battleship in space. And the thing with Star Blazers, they loved the shot of like from the front of the ship coming at you. And I'm pretty sure, I didn't watch the show. I just remember as a kid seeing it on and being like, not for me. Because most of that stuff I was not into, like Robotech. It was very much, I think originally it was Macross.
Machina?
No, Macross or whatever. Macross, whatever that crap is. That's what Robotech is.
Magma? Magma?
No, Macross is the name of the... Do you know what Robotech is?
I know what Robotech is, yeah.
Yeah.
Robotech like is Japanese, like it was before Transformers, right?
Yeah, and it was
very popular.
Yeah.
I think it's still popular.
And that in Japan it was called Macross or whatever. That's the name of the series or whatever. And it's Macross or Macross or whatever it is. I believe Star Blazers was an offshoot of Macross or whatever.
Okay.
It is. So, anyways, here nor there. But the ships in here, very, very. I mean, he ripped it off from there. He copied like everything in this movie. He copied it from that. So that shows up, and then she looks up, and they all look up, and the guy, the leader of the village says, "What do they want?" And she goes, "Everything." Like dramatically. And that's what they show in the trailer. And I was like, the second I saw that in the trailer, I think it's like maybe 30 seconds. And I went, oh, Christ. Oh, no.
Yeah.
We're in Zack Snyder's world now, you know? And the thing I did actually like was, like most of this shit, was the android.
Yeah.
I don't know what it is when you put a robot android in these movies and you give it a decent personality. You have sympathy for them. And immediately
it's voiced by Anthony Hopkins.
A very old-sounding Anthony Hopkins.
Yes.
Who also... Yes. Narrates the beginning of the movie,
right,
and never speaks again until that robot shows up.
Yeah,
no more narration. The entire
robot's not even in the movie for very long.
No,
but yeah, this android or robot is, I don't know, super nice,
right? And they do a setup thing too, where they tell you that. He was a warrior robot,
right.
But there's just like throwaway dialogue to set something up. I think for part 2.
Oh yeah, for
sure. They don't fight anymore. Watch this, and he just starts shooting it, and it doesn't fight back. And it's like the bad guys
left on the planet.
They leave like a platoon on the planet,
right?
So the bad guys that come in the ship that want everything, turns out, guess what they want? Everything.
Even said by the admiral.
Yes.
Right? That's like, what else do you want? And he says, I want everything.
And in classic...
She was right.
And in classic Snyder fashion, the choices and the things that people do, you analyze a little bit and go like, oh, that was dumb. That doesn't make any sense. Why would they do that? You said that early on with the... So we get a glimpse of the kind of the leader of the village and the guy who has the green thumb and grows the crops.
Well, this is the part that I didn't really understand too. Like it was basically just to move the plot along,
which is most of his bullshit.
Yeah. But it was so dumb because it's like we set up that we've got the leader of the village is like, let's not give him anything. Let's lie and say we don't have any reserves of our crops.
Yeah, and he's saying like and it's basically in Star Wars fashion. There's the Empire, which is called the Mother
Planet.
Or something. The Mother or something.
Mother World.
The Mother
World.
The Mother World. What I can't remember what it's called.
Yeah.
And then you've got the rebels that are trying to fight
It's not even really rebels yet.
Not
It's
yet.
just,
They call them. They keep calling them the. Oh Christ! What was the term? Because it's just like the January 6th guys.
Insurrectionists?
Don't they say insurrectionists?
Oh, I don't know.
I think they say that several times in the movie, but they're trying to find a way to not call them the rebels because it's Star Wars, but not Star Wars, right?
Right,
Like it's
right,
like
yeah.
they're not even called freedom fighters or anything. They're insurgents is what they're calling them in this. Not.
Well, that's what the Empire's calling.
It's calling them. Yes,
Yeah.
the mothership.
Mother world.
The mother world is calling
Yeah.
them. But yeah, so there's the Empire basically. What was my point? This
is the problem with this. You had already stated that this movie wasn't convoluted, but it was super convoluted.
It's not super convoluted.
I think
really isn't.
I think for a movie of this nature, it is very complicated.
So my point was the Empire shows up and says, "Hey, look, we need provisions. You guys have grain. We need some grain."
Yeah.
And the leader of the village is basically like, "Yeah, we don't have enough. We only have enough for us, basically."
Yeah.
But the guy who grows the grain is like, "They're going to give us a bunch of money. We should go with these guys. We've already sold some grain to the rebels.
Yeah.
Even though they're not called the rebels or whatever.
And everybody's standing in this room. They're all going to have drinks together.
But he says this before the remember when they're discussing what should we do before the actual Empire shows up.
I know.
So
but he's standing with the admiral in this room after he's told the admiral that he doesn't have anything to give.
Yeah.
But the other guy is just like, well, that's not actually, it's not fully true. We could probably give you a little bit. We do have reserves. We've been pretty lucky in the last couple seasons and blah, blah, blah. And it's like, dude, you're standing right in front of the fucking leader of the village who just said, no, we don't have anything to give. And you're fucking, backpedaling.
Yes.
And saying, well, we actually do. It's like, fuck off.
And then what you said is like, why would he say that? That's what you said.
Why would you say that in that context?
In that context, in front. Here's how you should have set it up. And again, we're just two dickbags sitting here in your goddamn family fun center. But I would have said if Zach was there and he was like, here, I'm going to have this guy do this. I would have said, why don't you set it up this way, Zach? Why don't you set it up with the farmer guy going, hey, we're going to have to give these guys something because they're just going to take it. Okay, so let's try to make a deal with them and at least get some money out of the deal and save our village for as long as we can. And then the village leader would go, no, we're a docile people and we don't take sides and that's not fair. And then when the guy confronts him and he says, we don't have enough, there's a better motive for him. I don't think
even that makes sense in the context of how these guys interact with each other.
Yeah,
because there's no bad blood between them, right?
No,
they barely fight. They barely fight about they barely even argue. I will say about what to do and what to tell the admiral before the admiral shows up.
Yeah, that's true.
Right. So,
but they should have set that up that way, though. They should have.
How it should have been set up is that the admiral talks to both of them individually. Right? Yeah. Instead of in this giant group scenario where everybody, the whole village is standing there.
Well, it's, of course, and he just dramatic.
He just fucking contradicts like his boss right then and there, because then he just seems like he just comes across as kind of a fucking dickbag.
Yeah, but if you would have set it up the other way, he's trying to save the village. Is basically what I'm saying. Is where he goes.
But he doesn't know. He doesn't think that he's saving anything.
I know. That's why I'm saying they should have set it up that way. It would have made sense.
I don't know.
It would have made sense. That's what I'm saying.
This is why you never made this movie. This is why Zack Snyder is worth $18 billion.
That's true.
And we're not.
I don't know.
Because he knows.
And who knows?
He knows what the public wants.
They want dumbed down nonsense, apparently. Because this is probably the #1 streaming thing on Netflix right now.
Oh, I'm sure.
And there's nothing original about it. Everything in it you have seen before.
Yep.
You've seen the story before, the visuals, everything. Nothing is a surprise. Everything goes as exactly how you'd think it would go. The ending is nothing builds to anything. The ending is a fight. The ending is they're in a situation where like, now they're not going to get out of this situation. Oh, you know what? They are. Not even a problem. Hardly a problem. They've basically got all of them literally paralyzed except for one of them, and yet somehow they get out of it. Yeah. I'll give you this much. Yeah. Where's the Force? Where's the goddamn space magic in this movie? Because at least with Star Wars,
it is missing some space magic.
How'd they get out of it? Space magic.
Space magic.
This guy's got more a powerful thing on his side that the other, that
people don't have.
Don't have.
Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they've got the lead character. I don't even know her character's name.
No, but you can't remember anybody's name.
They call her Cora because she's
you did remember.
in the. That's not her real name, though.
Oh, that's the one given to the village.
That's her fake name because she's kind of running away from the Empire, right?
Because her real name is Giver, Scar, and they don't.
What? What?
Giver, Scar.
Giver, Scar?
Scar Giver.
Scar Giver.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Got it.
So she's hiding her real name. And
that was a really good joke.
Cora. Yeah,
that was a
terrible.
really good joke.
That was terrible.
Yeah. No, I mean, yeah. So the next place that they go to is that western town, and they have their Zack Snyder's like Mos Eisley spaceport.
It's beat for beat.
In this bar.
It's beat for beat, and the only thing missing is a band playing funky music.
That's true.
That's it.
That's true. But one of the characters that they end up like getting in a fight with, right, is like just looks completely like this character from Men in Black, from the movie Men in Black,
or like Toxic Avenger.
Well, that too.
With about as bad as a makeup job as
I think Avenger. It was better than Toxic Avenger.
It was.
Let's not go there.
It was. I'm just saying. Though.
But yeah, I mean, a lot of practical effects in this movie, which were cool.
Yeah, I
enjoyed that.
I could see that he was also kind of again following the Star Wars way. In that, hey, we're going to do a bunch of practical effects, but we're also going to do a bunch of CG creatures too that look stupid. That look like it's like he can't decide whether he wanted to go original trilogy or prequel trilogy. Let's throw a little bit of them both in here. Why not?
Yeah.
There's some kings,
and they make the bad guys are so bad.
Yeah,
like they are fucking evil.
They're the Nazis.
They are the Nazis. They're wearing Nazi garb, and I mean, I'll give it to them. Star Wars did the same thing.
Yeah, but at least Star Wars.
But Star Wars did it way better.
Yeah, they dumbed it down and gave it a unique look.
Yeah,
these guys are literally wearing SS uniforms. The main bad guy, at least.
Yeah, then the soldiers are wearing like without the armor on. They're wearing straight up like
absolutely like
World War II era, like. Nazi shit.
Breeches and suspenders and tucked into the boots, kind of flaring out. It's like wearing them really high up around the waist too, like It's and they're just pure evil. They live
so evil
to rape and kill,
rape and pillage.
Yep,
that's what they're into.
Except for one of them,
and then be really fucking and really gross about it too. Like super upfront about like. I'm going to split this girl in half.
Yeah.
Like, gross, dude.
Yeah, and
did we have to go that far?
Here's another thing. One of the soldiers helps out. Like he's
and then we never see him ever again. We never see him ever again.
Yeah.
I wonder if he'll come back in part 2.
Oh, gee, I
can't wait. I can't wait.
Yeah, I thought they were setting up like he was going to go on this journey with him as well.
Right. That would have made a ton of sense.
Nope.
No.
Leave him behind. No. I bet you.
And then the robot helps him too.
Right? I bet. Yeah. That's a big setup.
We are 32 minutes into this. We have not left the first fucking scene of this movie.
Well, it doesn't matter.
Or it's not seen, but
it doesn't
the first
matter
location.
because after the Mos Eisley scene, it's just like, let's get a ragtag band of people together, and we go from stop to stop picking up a person, and in each stop you get to learn what their superpowers are.
This was basically Justice League.
Yeah.
It was Justice League.
Cyborg's in it.
Oh my God. Okay, when we come across this motherfucker, actually, let's not get to him.
Okay,
yet.
all right.
Because let's go first to the first person that they end up picking up is some dude that looks like a young Matthew McConaughey, young, more tan,
more tan,
or darker complexion, I should say. Matthew McConaughey. Who rides a fucking griffin from Harry Potter.
Oh my God. I can't even get, I mean, there's too much stupid in this movie, man. The griffin is unbelievable.
There's so much that just doesn't fit. It just doesn't
look so
fit.
out of place in this goddamn movie,
Yeah.
this fucking griffin.
So he's like
and
a
it
slave
technically
or
isn't
something?
a griffin, by the way, because a griffin's a lion mixed with a
Oh,
whatever,
yeah.
But I kept calling it a griffin because it's like
a giant hawk is basically.
Yeah.
Well, but it's got 4 legs, right?
Yeah, it's like a four-legged. It's like almost it's almost a griffin in reverse. Right? The bird is the head instead of the lion head, but it does have 4 legs and it's got wings.
And it did have a tail.
And it did have a tail and it's got wings. And it's just really dumb looking and totally out of place, like you said. Totally
It's just completely so. Yeah, it's just like stuff was just thrown in, you know?
Can we go quickly back to Mos Eisley for a sec?
Yes.
Because
yes,
the things that happen in the Mos Eisley scene and if you don't know what we're talking about, if you're not a Star Wars guy, but when they go into the bar in the original Star Wars,
and you're seeing all the different aliens,
creatures, and all
the
that
different
stuff.
races that are all gathered there.
And Luke Skywalker and Ben Kenobi and the droids are going there to find a pilot to get them off the planet.
Right.
And
it's exactly what these people are doing.
They're initially going to find this one guy who has like rebel information for them or whatever, right?
Yeah.
But they also need a ship. So it's like, it's not quite a ship, but yeah, that's part of it. But it absolutely is that scene in Star Wars to the point where, just like in that, they get approached by somebody who's this bad guy and they get in a kerfuffle with them and all this shit.
Yeah.
And then at the end of it, we get to see how badass she is, but we already saw how badass she was with the troops because we didn't get into that where they tried to rape this girl and then she just went all buck wild and we find out that she's got kind of superpowers because later we find out she trained with the bad guys, so she's a badass.
Right.
But anyway, so this one pilot in the bar befriends them.
The dude from Pacific Rim.
The dude from Pacific Rim that you informed me, which I did not know.
Also Sons of Anarchy,
which you informed me, which I did not know.
Yeah. His acting style always really bugs me, but I think I secretly like it. I just don't know that I like it or something. But he's got a lot of swagger.
He does have a lot of swagger.
In every movie that I see him in, he always is like grabbing. He seems like he's always grabbing his belt loop.
That's what you're saying, yeah. When he's always grabbing his belt loop.
You know, like the guys in high school that used to put their hands down the front of their pants.
Right. Yes.
You know. Yeah. It's like that's where they would hold their hands.
Yeah.
It's just fucking gross. It's like, what are you doing down there?
Does this guy have an accent in real life, by the way?
I have no idea. I have no idea.
He's got a pretty thick Irish accent, it seems, in this movie.
In this movie, he does, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm wondering if
not sure.
if that's his true accent, but in these other, like, Sons of Anarchy or whatever, he's just doing an American accent.
In other, like, I know that in Pacific Rim, because I just watched it 2 nights ago, again.
Uh-huh.
God, what am I doing with my life?
Tell me you watched it in 3D, but you're going to say you watched it on your phone.
I watched it on my phone.
What are you doing?
I fall asleep to terrible movies.
The only reason to watch these movies are primarily the visuals, but okay.
Yeah.
All right.
But he has a very odd American accent in that movie. Like, so I think he must have some, like, he must be Australian or something like that, you know?
That would make sense.
I don't know. But there are things to like about him, but he always has that kind of same thing going on where he's just like, he's so badass that he's got to grab the front of his belt kind of thing, you know?
I didn't notice
He didn't do that in this movie.
Yeah. Or if he did, it was...
But he was about to.
Okay. When you pointed that out, I was like, oh, I didn't notice. I didn't. But I will look... Next time I watch this movie... Never. But whenever I see this guy, I will look for that.
Yes.
I will look for that.
Yes, please do. Please
but
do.
for whatever reason, this guy goes, hey, I'll help you guys out. And they even said, like, you're not part of the bounty hunters that were in here. Because, of course...
Oh, yeah.
It's
By
a
the
Star
way,
Wars ripoff.
The bounty hunters are
orcs.
straight up fucking orcs.
I said
Lord
it,
of the
and
Rings.
then you, like... It's like they had the leftover makeup and masks, and they were like, hey, you guys want to use these? We got a bunch of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, sure. Let's slap them on some guys and call them bounty hunters. Sounds good.
Yeah.
So they asked him...
it's uncanny how much they look like.
Yeah, straight up, like, the only thing missing is, like...
The handprint.
The handprint on their face.
Right. Right.
So they're like, hey, are you with those bounty hunters? No, I'm not with those bounty hunters. I want to help you. For no... I mean, maybe he did...
No, he wants to get paid.
Okay.
Yeah.
But he's a super real nice guy, and they immediately
Real
trust
nice
him.
guy. Yeah.
They immediately trust him, and they're like, hey, do you know anyone else? And he's like, oh, yeah.
And
I'll
then they
take you
him
to this other planet.
To the fucking the guy who's paying off debts by being a blacksmith.
We
live in they are setting up a world where spaceships exist, and they're flying to and from other planets in a spaceship. The people on those planets know that spaceships exist. There are sliding doors,
laser pistols,
pneumatic sliding doors, laser pistols, and all that stuff. And then we have this guy working off a debt, working as like a medieval blacksmith.
Yep.
Pounding a thing of steel.
Yes.
On an anvil when they walk in, and he's chained to it.
Yes. It's so stupid. It's dumb. And so they show up and they say, hey, is so-and-so here? To this disgusting dude. Dude's like, yeah, he's paying off a debt that he owes me.
Yeah.
And then they're like, okay, well, we'd like to use him, but we don't have any money.
He's wearing a fishnet shirt,
He's
by
wearing
the way.
a fishnet shirt.
All
fat guy.
the net shirt worn by the bad guy in Commando.
Yep, exactly.
Yeah.
And he says, how else can he pay the debt? We don't, or we can pay his debt. We don't have money. And the guy says, "Do you like?"
Well, I do like to gamble.
I do like to gamble.
Yeah. If he can ride that griffin,
he can tame it.
Tame that griffin out there. That my other guys who aren't slaves are having just a hell of a time with.
Yep. Then he's all yours.
Then you guys, he's off the hook. That's fine.
Yeah, he can go with
But
you.
if he can't, then you're all my slaves.
Yep, that's right. And they're all just like, yeah, we're willing to do that.
Yeah, we're into that.
Yeah.
We've never met this guy before.
Never.
But yeah, he looks like he can do it because he's not wearing a shirt.
And he's got abs.
And he's got
it's basically like
sweet abs.
The
dude.
guy that we just met that's totally not a bounty hunter who just wants money, who knows this guy who we just met. She walks over and says to him, "Can you tame that?" And he's like, "Yeah, I can tame that."
He's like, "Yeah."
And then she turns around and goes, "Yep, we're all in. Yeah, well, you can enslave us all."
I believe him.
And
I believe him. Because she wants to fuck him.
She does want to fuck him.
Yeah. I mean, I wanted to fuck the guy.
I know you did.
Yeah. Dude is hot.
He's a nice looking gentleman.
Yeah.
For sure. Not
an
an ounce of fat on.
Who do they go to next? So then he rides the griffin. It's kind of a terrible fucking CG.
You left everyone in the lurch here. Was he able to tame the griffin?
Ooh, yeah. You don't find out.
Yeah. No. Yeah. No, he totally tames the griffin. He has a little bit of problem, but not really.
Funny shot too, where it's like so he's riding the griffin through this like canyon,
right.
And then the griffin is like, "Get the fuck off me," and like shoos him off, like pushes him onto this like cliff ledge. And then tries to fly away, and then he like runs in slow-mo. We see this same shot throughout this movie.
Yes.
By the way. It's like running in slow-mo on this like narrow little passage and then jumping onto something.
And you could tell
in
this
slow-mo.
guy is running so slow.
He's running
He needs
so
no slow-mo
slow.
because
Yeah,
he is
yeah.
running really slow anyways.
And then he jumps onto the Griffin, and then the Griffin's like, okay, you win.
But
It's like,
let's not forget
Wouldn't a Griffin wouldn't something like that, like a big fucking animal like that, would not give up on hating you if you jumped back on it.
Well, they're always trying to use the example of taming a horse.
Yeah, but I think a horse is a lot. I mean, it takes a lot more time. Than
Well,
that.
not if you're a horse whisperer. And like this guy, remember he had this
Okay.
whole conversation with him.
Yeah.
He has a way with griffins. And so it's like that whole scene where he has a connection.
Unbeknownst to the man who owned the Griffin, this guy was actually a champion Griffin.
Yeah, and not to mention,
tamer.
like we said too, was like the dude who was blacksmithing would have been like, "Oh, that's all you? I could have done that this whole time, and you'd let me go." like I could have done that. Yeah, shit.
Like he just thought of it in
yeah,
the moment.
Yeah,
It's like, well,
fuck.
I guess we got this thing out there. Yeah.
And there's the effects of him when they. This is one of the things that never works in any. I don't care what.
No,
your budget is.
writing a
something
CGI, a CG kind of animal
always looks hokey.
always looks hokey.
Always
Yeah.
looks hokey and just like ridiculous.
Steer clear of that.
Yeah, please.
Yeah.
This guy, probably no less than 3 times, looks like he's coming on the back of this griffin.
Oh boy,
He is getting so much pleasure.
He is. I mean, the back of that Griffin must vibrate like a fucking. What was those personal massagers called?
Yeah, I remember the thing that
Jiu-jitsu
the girls
or
would sit on or whatever, like the
Hibachi.
Hitachi.
Hitachi.
Yeah.
Hitachi.
I thought you were talking about those things they stir up.
Sibian. Yeah.
This guy's on a griffin that has a Sibian on the back, and the dude's just like coming every 30 seconds. Was he not? You're like, that guy just came. He looked like he was in ecstasy. It was.
Why do I
disgusting.
know the name of that goddamn thing?
Used to be on like Stern would always get like a Sibian out and
Oh my
back on the
God,
E
dude.
network and have some ladies ride it.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
So yeah, and I love this too. Like right as they're flying off, like they win the bet, they're flying off. The fat guy goes and tries to ride the griffin.
Yeah, gets
and
killed by it.
It gets
Like,
killed by him.
instantly.
And it's just
Yeah.
like, ha ha ha, I got him.
Yeah, and they just take off.
They just take off.
Yeah.
It's like,
Like,
he
cool.
totally deserved it.
Well,
Like,
he kind of
guess.
did. I mean, he was a piece of shit.
I mean, I guess. I mean, I'll take your word that this guy didn't do anything bad because he's got abs
Right,
and he
right,
looks
yeah,
nice.
yeah.
But then again, like,
By the way, dude doesn't wear a shirt for the rest of the
rest of the movie. Why would you if you had abs like that, though?
Dude, fucking guy's cut.
Like, he'll wear
cut.
he'll wear something above, like maybe a cape or something.
He's
but
wearing
it'll
like a shawl.
a shawl, and it'll split so you can see his abs.
Oh yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
perfectly.
So
so then they go to cyberpunk Blade Runner town,
that's right.
where it's very Asian. Like pretty much everybody there was Asian, right?
Everyone there was Asian, and then
They take like an elevator down with this lady who's wearing the dumbest fucking hat you've ever seen in
she's
your life.
very stupid looking. She looks like the Wicked
dumbest
Witch.
Witch hat,
Real dumb.
right on top of her head, which does. I mean, it doesn't even go over her head at all, so
No.
it doesn't look
It doesn't
as
fit-
Western as
yeah.
it's supposed
Doesn't
to.
fit right too. It's
Yeah.
like
Just sits right on top of the crown of the head. Yeah.
she looks absolutely ridiculous. She fights a Spider Woman
Yeah.
who wants to kill a child.
Because the people have overtaken her homeland.
Yeah, and she no longer
spider's homeland.
her eggs are rotten, and so now
Yep.
she's going to kill all the kids and make you feel the pain that she had.
Right.
And everyone that came on the ship that showed up to meet this
They're
lady,
just watching this
they're just
lady
watching her
fight this thing.
And-
And she's a swordsmith.
that turn into kind of laser swords,
Or fire swords,
but-
maybe?
but
they're
they're
just like, they just look like they
energy
heat up.
swords. Yeah, they heat up.
heat up.
Real dumb.
Yeah, it looked like something that was taken from anime.
Absolutely,
You know?
completely.
And she
take
does
them-
the whole thing where she like, at one point, like she slides backwards and then takes her, heats her swords up and then, does like a circle
On the ground,
with her
yeah.
swords. And it's
Yeah.
like, I never get that
No,
in a movie. Like
So-
it doesn't even look that cool.
No.
You know?
no. He looks like Sloth, too. We got to play in the background. He's a mix between Sloth from Goonies.
You got to explain who you're talking about.
Oh, I know.
You just went straight into
I know.
it.
Sorry. The guy that I said was... you let me finish. He looks like a mix between Toxic Avenger, Sloth, and whatever the fuck you said.
The guy in Mos Eisley Spaceport.
Oh,
scene.
Dr. whatever his name is?
What?
That guy's real name is Dr. whatever. You talking about the dude with the nose?
No. I'm talking about this guy. You just have to explain who you're talking about.
The guy that I said looks like the Toxic fucking Avenger earlier.
I said...
Why are these people like they're not confused by that?
Yeah, people would be confused.
No, they wouldn't.
Yeah.
The guy
'Cause
that
if
I
was
said earlier
listening- if
that
I
looks
was
like
listening-
Toxic Avenger that you said
You just
not.
peeked every fucking thing on my computer. You
Good.
You need to calm down.
I yelled off mic over here.
You need to
Christ.
calm down. You need to explain what you're talking about.
I don't.
Yes, you do.
The bad guy that
That
looked
was
like the
20
Toxic
minutes ago.
Avenger. Who cares? My point is it's playing silently on the screen, and he looks like Sloth, too. It looks so bad and so unoriginal. That's my point. Back to she won. She kills the Spider-Woman.
I'm done.
We should be.
I can't believe we haven't gotten to... Okay,
It doesn't matter.
Wait a minute. So then they go... Wait a minute.
It doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter.
They keep collecting people
they
up.
keep on collecting people. The
They
whole
pick
movie
up
is them
Cyborg.
collecting people. And then... Oh, yeah. That's right.
I mean,
oh, my God.
They show up, the person shows them what skills they got. They go, come join us. We'll take your word for it that you're a good person. And they're like, yeah, we'll take your word for it that you're good people too. And we want to join this fight. Okay, off we
But
go.
then they get the drunk, like, general or something, right? Who's the dude from Amistad?
The dude from Amistad, the dude from Gladiator. Oh, I forget that
Dude
actor's
from
name.
Black Adam.
Yeah, I forget that guy's name. And Shazam.
Yeah, and Shazam. And
That one, they don't show anything.
they don't show anything.
He's a
of him,
gladiator.
but it's so overly just dramatic.
Yes.
How the main character Cora says, like, "Don't you want revenge?" or something like that. Did you just almost?
Yeah, I tried to drink the rest of that rock star in this thing. Like goes
The headrest, like
the headrest is
down.
So
but you go,
dramatic.
don't you want revenge? And he stands up. So the dude is like so drunk he can't stand up, right? But once she says, "Don't you want revenge?"
Is that the whole deal? He was drunk? I didn't get that.
Oh yeah.
I didn't realize
he was completely passed out, and that's why they were washing him because he stunk and he was like super wasted.
I thought he was just like, he had just been in battle or something.
No,
Okay, got
not
it,
at all.
Got it.
He sat outside of the gates of this Colosseum, which is very reminiscent of Gladiator, right? They go to Gladiator Planet and find this guy, and he's all super dirty and stuff. And they let you know that he's very dirty by a weird space rat that is crawling on his chest while he's passed out. And the space rat smells his beard, and like shakes its head and then runs off really quickly.
Was I not even watching this part?
Probably not.
I don't even remember that happening.
I think you were just disgusted.
Or I was on my phone or something, because all I know is he had like dreadlocks for a beard.
Yeah.
Which shows you that like,
That's gross.
clearly he's gross.
That is gross in and of itself. How do you even do that? But anyway.
When he does his speech, or when she does her thing and then he does his thing.
Slow-mo, by the way. He stands up in slow-mo. He's so into the idea that his face is like shaking. He's like almost about to cry or scream.
Yeah.
Right?
His eyes are welling up. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like he just stands up slowly. And then, has that like statuesque kind of posture too. Like,
I mean, I
can't even explain it.
The guy kind of does what he does in every movie. Let's be honest.
Yes.
Because they're like, we want to get that energy you gave in Amistad. We want the energy you gave in Gladiator, where he has that moment where he's like, he's powerful, and now he's going to do this thing that he had some doubt in before, but he does no longer has doubt.
But now he's got some people with him that can like push him to the finish line. But that's so we come across this guy. And now that's a grand total of 5 people.
Yeah.
Right? We've got 5 people going up against a whole empire.
Yeah, they're
And
gonna.
I guess we
they're
get what? We get one more? No. We get a handful more because it's the dude that played Cyborg and the other
right. Which
Zack
we don't.
Snyder's Justice League.
Yes. Ray something or other.
Dude,
I think.
I don't know his name. He is the fucking. He's got to be one of the worst actors on the planet.
It's not good.
He is
not
so
good.
fucking bad.
And again, probably a sweetheart, probably a really nice person.
Of course.
Just not good.
Who cares?
Not good.
He is not good at his job. Okay?
At least
if I get an electrician out here who's a super nice guy, but he can't fucking rewire my house, right?
Yeah.
Or he fucks something up.
He needs to get another line
He
of
needs
work.
to get a different job.
Yeah.
But Zack Snyder keeps on putting this guy in movies.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Not good.
I cannot figure it out.
The rest of the people in this movie, albeit kind of unremarkable, they're fine.
They're fine.
They're fine.
Yeah.
They're I could see why they are not like superstars, but I see why they get consistent work. They're all pretty good. They're all pretty solid in this movie.
Yeah.
Other than our friend, not when we had that. That's the other thing is like you were saying about the Amistad moment that was, or that moment that was happening at the Gladiator.
Yeah.
I said to you, do they know what movie they're in? Because it was played so serious and so earnest and so what are we doing here? And this is my problem with his movies, because they switch back and forth between like absurd and ridiculous, but yet we're supposed to take these like very serious speeches and moments.
That's exactly my problem too. Right? You got to put some, and that's why the Marvel universe worked so well,
because
in the first, iteration, that
the
whole
first phase,
the first phase, worked so well is because they put comedy in it. Because they realize it's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's ridiculous.
It's a ridiculous premise. These are people with superpowers.
Yeah,
they cannot die.
We have to let you know in some way that we are aware of this.
Yes. Yeah. Totally. And you have to make it. You have
never
to,
in this guy's
in
movies.
an unreal situation. You have to make kind of jokes about how fucking absurd everything that you're watching is.
Never happens in these guys.
It never happens in these movies with Zack Snyder, which is sad, because his movies just don't fucking work, man.
I love that you're like, which is sad, and you realize
it's not actually sad.
You're like, no, it's just bad.
It's just bad.
It's sad because you were going to say, because I think where you're going to go is like, if he could just sprinkle some of that awareness, and then like, wait, no, it still wouldn't make it a good movie.
No.
Every one of them.
That's exactly where my brain was going with that. Thank you. Yes.
Because it's like, it's still not going to help him.
It's still not going to help, man.
Yeah. So, and they finally get all these people together, and you find out that the guy in the bar, sure enough, is a
Pacific Rim dude.
Is a bounty hunter. And he's not a good guy. And then the bad guys show up, and they have this fight. They're all captured, and they're all going to lose.
They're all in these weird, scorpion
so
chairs. So there's some. So we've hit on Star Wars. We've hit on the Hobbit,
Lord of the Rings, Game of Thrones.
We've hit on Harry Potter, and now we're hitting on Transformers, because they're offloading these boxes. Because this guy, the pilot, is like, well, I'm gonna join your rebel force, but we have to take this stuff. I've got all this shit that I
got to make a delivery. Because in my former life, now that I'm gonna give up on it. I did some bad things, but I got to unload this one shipment, and then I'm
off the hook, and I'm yours, right? And I'm gonna help.
Totally
you
not
out.
like Han Solo. Don't worry about it. Just
right. Well, you show up to this fucking Bespin, basically.
It is Bespin,
right?
Yes.
It's darker than Bespin, but there's floating platforms and everything
it's
like
totally
that.
Bespin. I totally agree with you. Yeah. Dirty Bespin. Yeah. And then obviously he double crosses them, and the Empire is there. Yes.
And that's kind of the final scene fight. kind of thing. Well, it's not the final scene; it's the final fight, climax of the movie.
It's a climax of the movie, yeah. But knowing
and then
that
you've got Cyborg guy, that is yelling at his other troops while they're flying spaceships, and he's on the platform.
Like pull
no
back
communicator, nothing like that. Hey!
Park those over there.
Park those over there, and then if you see if you can get some gas. It's like these people are in ships that go to space. They are in cockpits in starfighters that go into the outer space area. You're not going to hear a dude yelling at you from a platform conservatively 500 yards away.
Oh God, it's terrible. I'll give Zach this much though. At no point in this movie do you see any communicators. As far as I know.
That's
no
true.
one talking on.
Everybody
the screen.
reads lips in this movie.
Yeah, but it's one of those things where it's like,
which if you've got my setup with like just a sound bar on a TV, you'll need to read some fucking lips.
Oh
too,
yeah, you will.
Because God damn it,
you turn up the shit for the dialogue when the action starts, dude. Like,
dialogue's like 30 seconds long.
God.
In each fucking scene, dialogue is like 30 seconds long, and then it cuts to the loudest noise you've ever heard in your life. It's so hard. It's so hard.
So these boxes, they transform into robots that are very much like scorpions, and then the scorpion arm grabs the person, brings them up onto the
grabs
back,
him by the neck,
and brings them up on his back, and then the tail straightens out, and it like clamps around them, so they're like pinned up against a stake, basically on the back of and then
it's got a hole in the back of the neck where the neck is, where the neck meets the head, and then it's got a gun that's equipped in like a compartment in the bottom of the scorpion where the legs are, where it will sever the spine of whomever is captured in this thing to paralyze them.
It's like a bolt gun for cows.
It's a bolt gun to literally just paralyze somebody.
Yeah,
a captive person.
Yeah, and it's like it's very Matrixy too. It enters the back of the skull or whatever. So they're all captured
on a torture
on
device.
They're all captured on these stupid things, and so like, well, that's it. They're done. And the bad guys, the head Nazi is giving his whole spiel. And
I guess we didn't really say that there's like one of the farmers kind of goes along with the group, right?
Yeah, well,
we never mentioned that like the woman,
the
main woman, Cora, is along with the farmer who kind of like
threw him under the bus.
Let slip that, they had actual grain in the beginning.
Yeah. He came along, and the whole time he does nothing.
Like he really doesn't.
And they kind of call him a coward because he, all these other guys
are just a farmer.
Yeah, he's a farmer. He's not really a warrior.
He's not a fighter or anything like that.
And I guess like the Nazi guy has a soft spot for him because he's like, hey, you kind of helped me out. And the other guy, the smuggler, thinks it would be poetic justice to have this coward bolt the girl in the head.
Right, yeah.
So, of course, they give him the gun, and he puts it up there. Unbeknownst to me, apparently, if you twist it the other way, it shuts that whole thing down. It sets the person free.
Right, yeah. You can just get right out.
And then she gets out.
It's like a quick release.
Yeah, she gets out. Let's see.
Oh, shit, we got the wrong person on that scorpion thing.
Shit,
the scorpion paralyzer thing.
Yeah. Oh, undo it.
Yeah, you hit the quick release with that gun thing.
Don't turn left, turn right.
Don't pull the trigger on the gun. Just stick the gun into the hole where it's supposed to kill the person.
Yeah.
Or paralyze the person. And then turn it the opposite way.
And lets him go.
Yeah. Just to make sure you don't pull that fucking trigger.
Awesome design.
That seems like that company must have gotten sued.
Yeah.
Just constantly. Because it's like, dude, I tried to let my brother out of the thing.
I went the wrong way.
And I went the wrong way, and I accidentally hit the trigger. It's a fucking hair trigger. Paralyzed my brother for life. What are you going to do about it? How are you going to make this right? Tyco Corporation.
So they end up. She gets out, and she gets all of them out, and then this is the first time we get to see them all fight together, and it is
Lot of slow mo, dude.
Lot of slow-mo.
Lot of slow mo.
And he likes to do this thing too, where he goes real speed to slow mo to even slower slow mo to back to real speed in like one shot. He loves that shit.
It's so annoying. It's really so annoying. And then this is where we get the second kind of slow mo run up a narrow.
Yeah, that's right. Another slow
narrow like pathway.
Yeah,
right? Because like a
catwalk or what do you want to call
what's
it?
I mean, it's the cyborg guy, right? And he's running up this thing, and he's so bad at his job. Real life guy is just so bad at his job. I mean, Zack Snyder's kind of bad at his job too, but this guy is just so bad at acting.
Yeah, and you know, who knows? Maybe under a different director, the guy might do okay, but who knows?
I'd actually like to look up and see what else that guy's been in.
He's been in a season of True Detective.
Was it season 2 or season 2?
It was season 3. It was season 3. Like no one
Season
watched.
3?
Yeah, there's a season 3. No one watched it because season 2, everyone was so turned off by season 2 that season.
Oh no,
3,
season 3 was great though. But I don't remember. I don't remember him being in it.
He's in it.
Huh?
And I even in that I told somebody
Season 4 just came out and it's looking pretty good.
That's what I hear. Yeah, I haven't watched it yet, but
I'm waiting for more episodes to come out before I watch it because I'd like to watch more than just one.
Right. But he's not good in it. Like he's watching
not?
and was like, he has an interesting way of like his cadence, like the way he speaks is like.
It's like he's trying to be Shakespearean.
Yeah, or something like that. Yeah,
and he's
trying to make every line poignant or something.
Yes,
and it ends up being just bad.
It seems very forced.
Yeah,
it seems very forced. And
I mean, again,
and
God
not
bless.
natural.
God bless. Probably a nice guy. God bless. I
There's
feel
a lot of nice people.
I know.
out
I'm
there.
just feeling like
who knows? Dude could be an asshole.
Could be.
He's like, I was cyborg.
You're right.
I was cyborg.
Yeah, he was not good at cyborg either.
No,
not good. Not
Gee,
good.
Christmas. But the CG in that movie didn't do him any favors either.
No.
Jesus.
So he slow-mo runs up another like ramp. I don't know. Crane. I don't know what a crane arm.
Because there's this giant ship that's like shooting this massive gun down on them.
That's just taking it
as they're fighting.
Yeah.
And so he grabs this like piece of broken metal that's been shoved through the chest of some, bad guy. And he like pulls this this metal,
is it like a shard? I don't know. Staff, yeah.
Or pole out of this dude. And he fucking runs up that little tiny ramp. And he jumps off the ramp onto the windshield of the gunner that's in this massive spaceship and like plunges it through the heart of the gunner. And then while he's doing that, though, he gets shot in the chest and
he's
dies.
dying.
And then his hand hits the joystick. And then the whole fucking spaceship goes down.
Very confusing.
And
I guess the guy's steering?
I was under the impression that the gunner was only controlling the gun.
That would be the most logical. Yeah, sure.
Right?
That's what I thought too.
That would normally, for a ship of that size, right?
Like it's a real thing.
Well, I mean,
but I know what you're
take the B-2 bomber.
Yeah,
Or what was it? The B-16 bomber, right?
You're in shitty luck if your gunner gets taken out, then you're like, well, we all go down now.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
The person that's most likely to get taken out.
Oh, yeah. We
bubble.
forgot the guy that was on the gun that's supposed to focus on the gun is also focusing on steering the plane.
Yeah.
No, that's not how that works. At all.
I thought what was going to happen was when he grabbed the joystick was it was going to turn the guns.
He was going to shoot
into
that
the
would
ship.
have been the better part, right?
Again,
that would have been the better way to
Zach,
do it.
hey, the way this could have worked better, Zach, is if you had him turn the gun into the ship and then it.
This movie's so fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah.
And then you have like the end fight between the. We didn't mention this too.
Yeah.
This was one thing that I actually kind of enjoyed. So the main bad guy, has this massive human femur. Cane.
Right. Is that what that's supposed to be?
It's a femur of some sort.
It's like it's shaped like a femur. It's like, but it's like
it's
a
hip
club.
bone.
It's a hip bone club.
You know, a leg hip bone.
If you say so.
Yeah. But he uses it as a club, and it is the most effective blunt object ever.
It's just
because he is just beating the shit and killing people throughout the movie with this thing. And it's fucking brutal.
Yeah.
But so, like, he gets in this fight, you know, and then you know, he dies.
Yeah, Cora kills him.
Kills him off one of these floating platforms, and then they bring him back to life because he's kind of half robot.
Or something. They didn't quite
understand what's going on.
Plug a bunch of shit into, and
was that just kind of like a normal thing that people have in this universe? Or is that something that just that dude has? I don't know.
Well, we might find out in part 2.
I think we will. Are you going to watch it with me?
I guess I have no choice. I mean, I have to at this
now,
point.
Right?
Yeah. I'm not going to watch it by myself. I would never watch it. I would never have watched this movie.
On a scale of 1 to 10, how mad at me are you?
I said at the beginning, I actually ended up, it was fun watching it with you, so I wasn't too mad. But it was as bad as I thought it was going to be. You know, I guess we should say she wins. They all go back to the planet. I guess
on those stupid horses.
On stupid horses.
They steal that. Well, I mean, I guess it's not really stolen because the pilot's dead. But they take the freighter, yeah, the freighter back to that the Japanese kind of western town, and then ride those horses with like boneheads, back, to the village,
And
they're like, this is a beautiful place to die, to die in a battle,
you know, and. You were talking earlier about because I guess this is going to be inevitable either way, but they're originally going to get these people together and going to battle the main Nazi guy when his dreadnought, I think they called it that,
right?
When he showed up with his ship and his troops, they were like, that's going to be really hard to do, but you know, we might be able to do it. But now the entire fleet is going to be coming. It sounds like
pretty much, man. Like
before,
they killed you know, they almost killed the fucking main admiral.
Yeah.
Right? So, like...
They bring him back to life with all these
So what are you going to do with fucking 8 people?
I know. That's fucking stupid.
Are we going to end up... they better end up getting a whole fucking army.
You know it's going to be one of these things where they're going to be introduced to indigenous people that are on that planet or something, or creatures.
And they're going to come over just like Lord of the Rings. There's going to be a wizard that brings them over the mountain just at the right time.
Just in time. It might be indigenous creatures, aliens of some sort.
Oh, it's going to be epic, dude. He's going to try to make kind of an end game,
probably
battle scene. You know,
because we already see in the trailer that they're training all these country bumpkins.
Yes,
and then one of the girls is very oh, this is how you shoot the gun. Very good. Like, oh, she's special. Like maybe she's got some sort of, because they also had a flashback to this princess in this movie. We're talking about space magic. Forgot this part.
Oh yeah, there's your space magic, dude.
There was space magic.
I forgot about that.
They talk about this princess who was rumored to be able to bring creatures back to life because of the powers that she had. Yeah, and they kind of flash back to that.
Yeah.
But
did we mention who plays the actual king in these flashbacks?
God, yeah. No, we didn't. I don't even know this guy's name.
What is his name? It's
who cares? It's the main guy from what's that?
Princess Bride.
Princess Bride.
Yeah, can't remember his name.
Who is also plays like a writer who falls in love with or has a naughty. In the movie The Crush with Alicia Silverstein or Silverstone.
Oh, that's right.
He was like the writer, and then she. Anyways, that's the guy who plays the king. But we learn at the end that the guy who slayed the king is actually the guy
That's just what I
setting-
think, but I think it's pretty obvious.
Yes, I'm pretty sure
Right.
it is. Because he even says my daughter at some point, which is Cora.
Well, yeah, he's
like, I found
yeah.
He's like, I found your daughter or whatever. I found the scar maker or whatever the fuck. Didn't he say that?
Scar giver.
It's the scar giver.
Yeah.
He like because they
Yeah,
bring,
he calls her his daughter.
yeah, because he kind of raised her and that's why she knows how to fight.
But
and
I was
knows
just
how to
saying that I was speculating that he probably was the one who had the king and the king.
Oh, that's yeah, right. Yeah. I took your word for
assassinated.
it. I took your word
Yeah.
for it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So the weird thing about this, when I was at the end of this movie, I thought, why is there going to be a part 2? But then I was like, oh yeah, they still have to defend the town.
Yeah,
But-
and they have to get rid of the Empire, right? Or the bad people in the Empire.
Yeah.
And then the very last scene is them riding down to the village.
Yeah.
And then you see the robot.
Oh, that's right.
Remember the robot?
The robot, voiced by
Voiced by Anthony Hopkins. Who's standing there in the field, who now is carrying like a spear or a staff,
Yeah.
some sort of wooden implement, and has like antlers on his head.
Yeah, he's got like a because they
He's
did
a robot.
Because at some point they did say there's winter elk, and he's got
really?
elk horn. Yeah, that's what they're cooking in the fire.
Oh, okay.
Because
Well, he's got elk horns on.
he's got elk horns on, and he turns
like
towards
now
the camera.
the android is now living in the woods
in the woods. Yeah.
and has become some sort of shaman.
Who's is like that again, set up for that second movie where
Oh, yeah.
he's
Yeah.
gonna come join them. They're all
Oh,
gonna
yeah.
train the village people
Because we've already set up that like the weapons that they have, because one of the bad guy soldiers shot him
oh yeah,
in an attempt to explain that like these robots are so docile now that after
Yeah.
the king was assassinated, they were just like, we have nothing to live for anymore. So we'll lay down our arms. We're not going to fight at all.
yeah.
And they shot this super evil troop or army guy.
Yeah.
Like shot him a couple times, and the shots didn't do anything to him other than just knock him down.
Yeah.
So
The captain or whatever did say, are you injured at all, or are you malfunctioning at all? And he's like, no, sir. And he's
No.
like, I love that he tells the robot to go down to the river and clean himself up too.
yeah,
Yeah. By the
'Cause
way,
he's got mud on him.
this guy who's pure evil, the guy that wants to be the first to split this girl in two,
Right.
but you know what? He has a heart for the robot who is taking shots. Tells him to go down and clean
I don't think he
himself up.
really had heart. It was
No,
just
it's-
more of just like,
well-
clean the fucking mud off yourself and go get back to
Okay,
work.
well.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Nothing in this movie really, truly makes sense.
No.
You know? And like we've said over
Motives.
and over, it's just
Motives for
so
things.
much. It's so much taken from other movies in this. And everything's so cliched and so overly emotional
Yeah.
and dramatic. It's ridiculous.
Very
And I
serious.
highly recommend that you watch it.
Every time these people walk down ramps, by the way, that are just reminiscent of Star Wars. Every
Oh,
time.
yeah, because
Figure
there's...
out a different way. Have them go downstairs off the side of the ship anymore.
Yeah, because it's always like a psh.
Yep.
Like there's pressure releasing, there's smoke and fog and stuff like that.
You see the
or-
feet come down the metal ramp,
Yep,
the heavy metal
yep.
ramp. And you're just like, this is Star Wars.
Dude.
I know it's been in a ton of movies at this point, but goddamn, like, find a different way at this point.
Yeah.
Find a different way.
Indeed.
Good Lord.
So, that's about it.
That is it.
What do you give this thing, bud?
Oh, I see. This is, we're watching the scene now. I'm getting seeing the rat sniff his beard or whatever.
Yeah. Yeah.
I didn't put two and two together that was the guy, because
Right.
here he looks all fat. And then when they clean him up, he's all muscular.
Yeah, he's super muscular.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Got it. All right. Yeah, I don't know what I give it. Fuck. I mean, again,
I'm giving it 3 bluets because I think it's completely watchable. It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous, but I think it's entertaining enough. And I also do think that a lot of the scenery and stuff like that, it's like kind of fun to see. Like I didn't have the same qualms with some of the CG stuff that you did.
At the end of the day, and again, I'm going to go back to my coworker Mike.
Yeah.
These movies, no matter what, are made for TV movies, and they look like made for TV movies.
Pretty much.
No matter what Netflix says, no matter what Prime says, no matter what any of these streaming services say, Disney Plus, whatever it is, when they put these movies out here, they all have a TV movie quality to them. And there's just some of the stuff, and it's always a mixed bag. Some of it you go, oh, that looks pretty all right. Mm-hmm. And then you'll go to another scene, you'll go like, that looks like utter dog shit.
Yeah.
They're so inconsistent visually when you're watching these things.
They are, but you're talking about different teams that are making different movies
I know.
and stuff like that too, right? So
I'll say this. I'm going to give it two Bluets.
Okay.
Because yes, it's competently enough, like there's competently made enough.
Yeah.
But my problem is I don't want to encourage these to be made anymore. And I especially don't want to encourage Zack Snyder to be making movies anymore.
Yeah,
I don't understand why people actually, I don't know, maybe it's
more, well, and that's what I'm wondering. I'm wondering as well. Like, is it more people like me that just, for some reason,
have a soft
enjoy
spot?
watching like just garbage shit?
But whenever you bring up this stuff, and maybe it's just because it's social media and it's not real life, and maybe people are trolling or whatever, there are so many Zack Snyder defenders out there, and it's weird to me.
See, I've never really looked or gone down that rabbit hole either.
Well, Christ, I
don't know.
How do you think
how do you think these things get made?
No, how do you think Justice League, this Snyder Cut, got made?
That's right. Yeah.
Like, it literally was a campaign online that got WB to go like, you know what, fuck it, we'll give him some money, he can finish it, and we'll put it on our streaming service.
Right.
And guess what? It was dog shit. And it was
so
super
terrible.
way too long dog shit.
Yeah.
Oh,
trust me, I know.
Yeah,
just watched it again.
know. But like, so I don't like. Please stop. If anything, if he went back and said, you know what, I'm going to make a small movie. Like, I remember Joel Schumacher did this. Remember the guy who did took over the Batman franchise after Tim Burton.
Yeah,
and totally tanked that franchise. He did Batman Forever. He did Batman and Robin, and everyone like wanted to string him up. Poor Joel Schumacher. But then he quietly went and did Tigerland on 16 millimeter, went back to just old school filmmaking, very simple, and it's a solid movie. And it caught him back into the good graces. I don't think this guy's capable of doing that.
No, I don't think so either. I think he's too obsessed, like you said before, I think he's too obsessed with like comic books. And I think
weird.
That's where he wants, what he wants to do and where he will stay until they stop paying him to do it.
And I guess maybe it's worth Netflix to pay for this, because I'm sure this is probably one of the top streamed things on their our service right now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
But I mean, if you think back in the history of this guy, I knew him from when he did the remake of Dawn of the Dead or whatever it was, one of the George Romero movies. That's where he. No, wait, sorry. What am I talking about? Was it that or 300?
He made 300, right?
Yeah, but he also did Dawn of the Dead or whatever it was, Day of the Dead, Dawn of the Dead.
Yeah,
which was a remake, and then 300, which was a comic book.
Yeah.
Anything that he's done that's based on something is bad. And then whenever he does his own thing, Sucker Punch was his own brainchild, I think.
Well, I think Sucker Punch was based on a comic book too.
It was,
or a video game.
I thought for sure. I thought it was one
either a video game or comic book.
I thought it was an original idea by this guy. But either way, man, it's just not good.
Hey, I liked Man of Steel.
Huh.
I liked it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
You know,
I
thought it was decent.
I love people who say that and then you haven't watched it in a while, and then the first thing I always say to someone is like, "Well, Krypton," and they go, "Oh fuck yeah, sorry, yeah, that's bad."
Krypton was weird.
It's horrible.
Yeah.
It's horrible.
I mean, it was like, what? Are we on an insect planet?
It's horrible. I don't know. Good for you, man.
But,
I don't.
You know, I just rewatched it again, like I told you, like a few days ago.
Kind of. Falling asleep.
Man of Steel?
Your phone. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Falling asleep on your phone, sort of. Yeah, I mean, I liked his Dawn of the Dead, and I liked his 300. I liked 300 when it came out.
Yeah, sure.
It was
it was very different.
Very different. Yeah.
But now he's doing that same movie over and over
again.
again. He's doing the same thing
Yep.
over and over and over again. Yeah.
So I'm gonna give it 2.
And that was
I'm gonna give it.
I'm
2
gonna give
bullets.
it. I'm gonna give it a 3 because I find it watchable, and I think it's it's one of those things. It's just so laughable.
Well,
a lot of this stuff is just so laughable that I find
Yeah, I mean,
for people who want to see something like that, then I would recommend it.
I just don't think there's any you've watched it a few times now, 2.5 times or whatever.
2.5, yeah.
So there is no rewatch value for me.
Yeah.
It's utterly forgettable and not very enjoyable, other than to make fun of, and I wouldn't revisit it. Like part 2 is going to come out. I'm sure me and you will watch it, but no part of me thinks, well, I better watch part 1
again
to get ready for part 2.
Yeah. No, I don't think I feel the same way. I don't think I would do that.
Yeah.
For this one. Yeah.
Well, that's that. God, what a journey. Sorry I yelled. Sorry I yelled at you.
Yeah, you got really mad. You got real mad. All I was saying was that, hey, look,
people,
we're seeing it on the screen.
I know.
You just got to make sure that you mention
give
what
me some time.
What you're
give
seeing.
me some time. I was going to explain it. Give me some time.
Not.
Yes, I was.
You weren't.
All right. Well, buddy, we did it
bud.
again. We survived another one.
We survived.
Right.
And guess what? We're that much closer to Time Cop.
I told you I'm going to punish you because I told you before you started this. We're at Time Cop in the
Van Damme.
In the Van Damme in the watching by release date.
Yeah.
We are at Time Cop right now.
I can't wait.
And I was like, you were going to watch this over Time Cop? Come on.
I have put watching this movie off for how many years have we been doing this now? 3 years, 4 years?
But you've seen Time Cop, right?
Yes.
Okay, that's what I thought. I was like, yeah.
But I've been wanting to watch it again, and it keeps on popping up on my streaming services.
Yeah.
Saying, hey, Time Cop.
It's time for
something
Time Cop.
you might like.
Yeah.
Time Cop. And I'm like, oh, fuck.
Well,
and
we're there.
I've been saving it. So I'm really looking forward to this movie coming up for the show because I remember loving it.
Yes, yeah.
So, and it's been decades since I've seen it. So,
dialogue
to it. Oh, Jesus Christ. Let's do it. Let's both do it. Okay, I'll start.
Oh yeah.
What do you think they want?
Everything.
Cut. Print.
What do you think they want?